Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Dr. Heather Deniston and I am with Well Fit and Fed, and this is the Junk You Should Know show coming to you live from Sevilla, Spain. Welcome, and if you are just joining for the first time, we do this Junk You Should Know show every Friday at noon, except when I am in Europe, which I am right now. Hi Cynthia. And then the Junk You Should Know show just kind of happens whenever I can make it happen. And right now, for many of our viewers, that's early in the morning. For me, it's sort of not dinner time because it's only 7 o'clock, and dinner time is a lot more like 8, 9, 10 o'clock here. So it's a good time to do a show because it's sort of the interim before we get ready for the evening. Today we're talking about the FBI, a way of communicating that can improve your outcomes of difficult conversations at work or at home. Oh, we got a lot of traffic going on. I'm going to take a little turn here. Such a beautiful city. If you have not been here, it is amazing. Perfect. Here we go. Okay. So the FBI I learned about at a recent conference. It's been a communication method that has been in place for some time. In fact, when Brent and I first started dating, he used it on me and I'm like, what is that? And he said, well, it's a communication method he learned of when he was early in his career and one of his mentors taught it to him. So I'm going to share it with you as I walk around and try to find a quiet place. The FBI has to do with feelings, behavior, impact. In that order, using that when you need to have a difficult or a positive conversation with a coworker, a loved one, with anybody. And so let me tell you a little bit about how it works and why it works. So very often when we give feedback, especially if it's critical or difficult, it can end up blaming. It can end up calling someone's character into question. It can be unclear, non-specific, and not end on a good note. And so the FBI was developed by a man named Barry Wehmiller, and he found this in practice in his work was very, very helpful. So again, it's feelings, behavior, impact. Here's how it goes. You start with a feel statement. I feel frustrated when. I feel angry because. I feel disrespected when. I feel happy when. I feel respected, which is another one. There's any kind of feeling you can put in there. Then it goes to the behavior. When you did this, and we keep it very, very specific. Then we talk about the impact. The impact is so important, and we're going to break that down in just a minute. So let's start with feel. When we start with a feeling, instead of, you did this, blah, 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 when we start with an I feel statement, two things happen. Number one, starts with the heart, which is super important when having conversations that might be difficult otherwise. Second, you can't argue with how somebody's feeling. If I say to you, I feel angry when, you can't go, no, you don't. Yeah, you can't tell me how I feel. So it diffuses the back and forth of arguing of yes, I did, no, you didn't, yes, I did, no, you didn't, okay? So then we state the behavior. Two things happen when we do that. We get specific. We don't just blanket blame. We have to call out something very, very specific. It's not a character attack. So sometimes when we're too general, it can feel like you are attacking somebody's character, which never goes well. When you say a very specific behavior, then that keeps it isolated, keeps it to the task at hand, keeps it to the one particular incident that you need to discuss. And it also creates action, actionable feedback. So when you are very specific, they know very specifically either what to stop doing or what to start doing more of. Thirdly, the impact. This is, again, the most important part. It must be clearly stated. And it's the why it all matters. Because if you think about it, the garbage not getting taken out doesn't matter until it impacts somebody. Oil spills in the rainforest don't actually matter until we understand what the impact was. If there's no impact and nothing happens, then it's not a problem. You see what I'm saying? So if me leaving my shoes at the front door, if I don't understand what the impact is and it's not properly stated when I'm getting feedback on it, then I'm probably not going to act on it. So how you feel about what specific behavior and how it impacts you. Super simple, but amazing. So here we go. Here's an example. This might be a work example. So I feel frustrated when you did not circle back with my review, and so it's hard for me to know how to continue with this project. So I can't argue with the fact my employee feels frustrated. The behavior is super specific. I said I would circle back, and I didn't. And then it talks about impact. I don't know how to continue with this project. Well, that's impactful. I want you to continue with this project, so I will change that behavior. Here's another example. I felt grateful when you stayed last night to help me with a report. It allowed me to be home in time to put my kids to bed. I feel grateful. And then what the person did when you stayed and helped me with a report and the impact, because I was able to go home and be with my kids, right? It seems really simple, but it's amazing how many of us see that this is a very new way of communicating. Here's one for me that I already referenced. I feel disrespected when you leave your shoes at the front door. It's something that bothers me, and it makes it appear that you don't care about things that are important to me. I've heard that one before. Here's one actually that Brent and I just had. I'm getting a little vulnerable here. We just had this, we were with a bunch of friends, and I said to him after, I said, I feel embarrassed and ashamed when you have called out something about me, a behavior in front of a family member or a friend. The impact was that I felt it felt alienating and disconnecting and didn't seem like we were a team. Let me tell you, he took that feedback so well. It really helps when we start with feeling the specific behavior and the impact it has. So I would love to know your thoughts, and if you are already familiar with the FBI and how that works in the workplace or at home. It's great for parenting. It's great for all sorts of ways of communicating. And of course, we can use it positively too. I felt so great when you went ahead and picked up groceries for dinner tonight. It made me feel like you care about what I have going on in my day too. So hopefully that is kind of a fun little thing to be thinking about. I feel like with wellness, communication is such a big part of that. And if we are not communicating effectively or well, it provides stress in our lives, which is definitely not good for our overall health. So, all right, guys, everybody, I want you to have a good weekend. I want to talk a little bit about the Change Cave before I go, because the Change Cave is the sponsor of the Junk You Should Know show. And the Change Cave is a 12-module online learning institute for women over 40 who want to inspire first steps and engage passion and fire under their wellness goals. And through bulletproof resources, through authentic accountability, and through a fierce, like-minded group of women all pursuing their own wellness goals, but together. And we reach our goals in a way that is so much different than when you're trying to do it on your own. So I would love for you to learn more about the Change Cave. There's a link below if you want to check it out. And how about I show you a little bit about where we're walking. There we go. Lots of interesting graffiti in Sevilla. There must be some kind of soccer game going on. So that's a little sneak peek of Sevilla, Spain. I hope you guys, again, all have a great weekend. Well, I got 4 people on right now, which is awesome. Please say hello if you are watching in live. I love live viewers. That's the best. If you're watching in replay, I love you guys all just as much. And remember that the Junk You Should Know Show lives forever on YouTube. So if you have not gone over to the YouTube channel for Well Fit and Fed, go head over there and subscribe. That way you get notice when the guys next to me just put a tie on his head. There's obviously some kind of partying going on tonight. You will get notification of any of the new videos that post there, because that's where the junk shows live forever. All right, guys, I hope you have, hey. I hope you guys, again, have a great weekend. I know I've said that 3 times, but I really hope you do. And I will chat with you again next week. We will see when the Change Cave makes sense to have next week. We will still be in Sevilla, Spain. And I'm so grateful for all of you guys who continue to come and check out the Junk Show. And I got to show you guys this. It's just so pretty. Okay, guys. Cheers. Peace out.